Good morning, friends. Welcome to that 1870s homestead. My name's Rachel, and this morning I woke up bright and early, and it was just feeling all kinds of Christmassy in the house. And I've often shared my morning routine, but it's usually during the summer, and I thought, let's just do a quick morning routine and get those Christmas vibes going before I get into baking. So I'm just making my coffee, and I always have a big spoonful of honey in my coffee. I don't know how you guys like yours, but it's delicious that way for me, just black and coffee. Right now I'm doing my morning devotional time with a book on the Advent, and it's on the attributes of love. And today it's love is not irritable. I was reading and it was really something that I needed to rest on for the rest of the day. So I just decided that after I get done with this, we're gonna do a Rachel Just Bakes with her music going, and then I'll share the recipe in the end, and we'll just do a quick voiceover for you guys. Plus it was early in the morning and I didn't want to wake up Todd with the beaters, and I just decided to let's keep it peaceful. So I know I told you guys we were going to make chocolate biscotti, but I'm still a little traumatized from the last recipe. So we're actually making, which was already on my list, a hot cocoa cookie. And the first thing you need is a whole cup of butter. And let me tell you, they turned out delicious. I had one. But you need that butter melted, which is a little unique for a cookie recipe. So I'm just going to pop it in the microwave and melt it for like a minute. I'm going to link the recipe that I used for inspiration in the description for you guys, but it called for cocoa and sugar. All my cocoa was used up in my hot chocolate mix, so I omitted the white sugar and just used my hot chocolate mix, and I used 1 cup. So when you read the recipe versus what you're seeing me do, you're going to see that I did something quite different. I think it called for 1/2 cup of cocoa and 1/2 cup of sugar. And if you spill some on the counter and you have coffee like me, just add it to your coffee. Now I'm going in with a full cup of our brown sugar, so that's all that it is. And I know I have 4 eggs sitting on the counter, but you just need 2 eggs at room temperature. Now, most recipes do call for vanilla in a recipe like this, and you're going to see it calls for vanilla, but I am using coffee extract. Last year I did a video on how to make coffee and vanilla extract using your Instapot, and I've loved having coffee extract for anything chocolate. Okay, now we're going to add a teaspoon of baking soda. One thing you're also going to see that the recipe calls for salt, but I used salted butter, so I did not add the salt listed in the recipe. And then we need our flour, and that was 2 1/4 cups of flour. So rather than get out a separate bowl, I just mixed my baking soda with my first portion of flour and then went back in and added my flour, the remaining of my flour. Now you're going to mix that till it's really well combined, but be careful not to overmix it. And then you need to chill it in your refrigerator for about 45 minutes. So during that time, I just took time to clean up my mess and get some Christmas cards written. And pretty much by the time I was done with that, I think I did some dishes. It was time to roll out the balls. Now this recipe says it'll make, I believe, 24 cookies, like 2 dozen, and I got 21 cookies. But you can see I'm making pretty good sized balls here. So it did call for like 2 tablespoon size scoop if you have a cookie scoop. But I just did big balls, and I did spread them out on the pan, not knowing exactly how much they would spread. And they don't spread that much, but I think I have quite a large cookie sheet, and 3, you'll see when they come out of the oven. I think this was perfect spacing, allowing me to work. Now I have my oven preheated to 350, and these are going to bake for 10 minutes. Now, while those are baking, you can get your marshmallows, and these are the normal large size marshmallows, and you want to cut them in half, so you have like 2 of the flat ends, that when those cookies are done after 10 minutes, pop one of those marshmallows on top and then put them back in the oven for 2 more minutes. You're going to want to be really careful that you don't overcook those marshmallows because they can puff up. Now what I did was I took a large tablespoon and I buttered the back end so it didn't stick to the marshmallows, and then pressing those marshmallows down into the cookies. It took a couple times to really level those out and flatten them out the way that I wanted the look of the cookie to look like. And they cool quite quickly, so then I've got the other cookies in the oven right now, and we're going to make the chocolate glaze that gets drizzled on top. So you need 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate, and I'm going to go through this quickly because my grandson showed up and I shut off the camera. 3 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of honey, and a couple tablespoons of milk. And I used heavy whipping cream because that's all I had. You're going to microwave that all together, stir it a couple times every 30 seconds until it's no more lumps, and then your chocolate drizzle will be ready to drizzle on your cookies. Now for your drizzle, you could do whatever you want. I just had fun with it and drizzled with no random or no intention, just very random. But you could dunk these. You could, take a spoonful and completely cover the marshmallow. So whatever look and feel you want, just have fun with it. And then use, if you want sprinkles, if you don't want sprinkles, that's completely up to you. But I love everything has a touch of something jazzy for Christmas. So my grandson's helping me put on a few sprinkles. He didn't quite understand the concept that it's okay to do more than one at a time, which was tricky for him with his little fingers. But we got them done, and I think that they turned out great. And so then we ended up sharing one, and they were delicious. And it has this wonderful crispy crunch on the bottom. And I don't want to make it sound like it's hard. It's not. It's a really light, fluffy cookie that are just delicious. So we bagged them up in a Ziploc baggie. These will keep nice at a refrigerated temperature. I'm not going to freeze them. They're just going in my fridge. So I wish you guys all a very wonderful Merry Christmas.